2017, what, 6 years ago? But kind of feels like yesterday when Chappie and Ole and Frankie Montas and Paul Blackburn all made their A's debut, but specifically the Mats. In the second half of 2017, it was a season that was very pedestrian. The team almost played 500 baseball in the second half with those call-ups, and obviously Ole and Chapman doing their things in the second half of that season. And Stu, we kind of remember that fondly because it was the start of a young wave of players who already had Marcus Semien on the team. Sean Murphy would join the team, Chris Bassett, and on and on and on. But this was a group coming together, no question about it.
No doubt about it. These kids had gone through the minor leagues together. Frankie was actually a trade from the Chicago White Sox.
That's right.
But he had come here early enough in his career that he would be considered a player that was technically developed in our minor league system. It was just a great bunch of guys. Blackburn, people didn't talk very much about him, but he came here and he had impact. And what can you say about this guy? I mean, he's just been an all-star. He's been a Gold Glove. And then on the other side, you're looking at a Platinum Glove.
I know it.
I mean, those were just tremendous players that played enough in the minor leagues together to develop a philosophy of how this game should be played, and they brought it to the big leagues with them.
And also, you look at where the A's had been before 2017 and where, like we said, where they went after 2017. A lot of struggles, 15 and 16. This all after winning the West in 2014, having one of the best records in baseball that year at the All-Star break. So obviously they went down, they rebuilt 15 and 16, second half of 17, then look at 18 and 19, 97 wins back-to-back. And actually, when you extrapolate the record 36 wins in 2020, it was a shortened season, that was also the pace of a 97-win season 3 straight years in a row. So, I mean, they were successful. And again, you can kind of see the picture we're painting here of like the old group versus the current group. More thoughts on that in just a second. But first, here's what Mark Kotsay said about this new young group, maybe potentially being some cornerstones.
Right now I see them as a group that is getting an opportunity to have impact, to make an impression for next year, and to hopefully lay a foundation that they can be a group that plays together and grows together, similar to a group like we saw with the Chapman Olson group, and that's our hope. To say whether that's going to happen, I think it's just too early to say that right now.
That's exactly how I feel, Stu, and I'm pretty sure you're the same way. No pressure, guys, because that last group was so special. But this group, in the very beginnings, you can kind of see similarities.
You can see some similarities, but once again, in terms of Lawrence Butler, we had spring training to look at him, and now we're going to get a month and a half. And, And Geloff, to me, I think he is displaying who he is. I think Butler, for that matter, is displaying who he is and who he's going to be. These guys are baseball players. But, we're going to need a little bit more time to look at them, and it doesn't hurt that they are playing as good a baseball as you would expect from kids that don't really have major league experience.
Couple position players in there, obviously Geloff at second, Soderstrom bouncing around, and I think that'll be good for him eventually to settle in on a position, whether it's more first base or more catching or wherever he is. And obviously Lawrence Butler, he's been up and down the lineup and in center field and the corner outfield positions, but that's Mason Miller right there. We haven't seen him in a while. He's on a rehab assignment right now in Stockton. A friend of the program, Ben Ross, reporting going 2 innings with no runs, no hits, only a free pass and 2 Ks on 29 pitches. Fastball sitting at 99, topped out at 101, and that's the thing I took away from the beginning of this season when he made his debut. He was easy triple digits on the velo.
Yeah, you know what though, Hammer, and I'm not trying to say what the A's should do or what they shouldn't do. But in the particular case of this young man, I don't know that he would have pitched again this year for me.
So you're saying slow your roll, there's nothing to work back to?
No, there's no reason for him to have to be out there at all, in my opinion. You could have, got him on a nice rehab program, a strengthening program over the winter months this year. Maybe if you want to pitch him in the fall league, you bring him to the fall league, pitch him in the fall league. But for me, with this level of prospect, I didn't see any reason that he should pitch anymore for this season. This would have been a case where I would have just taken care of this kid, put him on something, some type of physical therapy program that goes through the winter. And then when he comes back next year, give him an opportunity to come out the gate and make the team.
Well, I think back in May when he had the injury, I was under the expectation he was done for the rest of the season, to your point. He's back early and maybe sooner than most expected.